This last fall, I locked in, managing to get a straight 8-point grade average for 8 classes, which totaled about 17 units. The semester before, I was taking fewer courses and failed half of them. If you're interested in finding out how you can start your semester off strong and be as successful as you can be for the rest of the term, then stick around for these personal tips that helped me make a 180 academic comeback. I think if you start off strong and build a good foundation from the start, it'll be smooth sailing from then on. These are some tips that are non-AI, no ChatGPT, and I feel that are applicable no matter what grade that you're in. And if you don't know me, hi, my name is Valerie. Welcome if you're new here. In this video, I'll give you some personal tips and advice to help you achieve your academic goals and step into your smart academic era. So with that being said, let's get into tip number 1. My first tip is to email your professors before the class even starts. Emailing them first about any questions that you have, if your classes are going to start on time, if they haven't posted the syllabus yet, or even to introduce yourself. Emailing the professor first can help them see how you're going to be as a student. Because believe it or not, no matter how big the class is, they will remember you off of the smallest things. After sending that email, remember to speak to them before or after class the day that you guys meet up, just to further solidify that you are that person that emailed them and they can further remember your name for future reference. I feel that by the second or third week, they'll remember your name, where you're sitting, and this can help you actually get on their good graces if by any chance you need to be absent for something or you need help that is apart from the rules of the syllabus. Tip number 2 would be time management. When you're in college, time management is super important because it'll help you stay motivated beyond the initial start and it'll make you have some discipline to keep a set routine that can help you succeed for the rest of the term. As boring and as mundane as it sounds, having a routine is the key to success. You need to find a healthy way to balance your school life, your social life, work, and anything else that you need to do to keep you functioning. For this step, it's important to have a calendar or some sort of planner to keep track of your things. For me, I personally have both. I have a calendar that has my personal things on it, and I also have a planner that focuses on school and on work. Both help me keep a balance on my social and my school life, and it keeps me from doom scrolling or being on my phone on my free time. And having some time management actually feels very liberating for things that you want to do outside of the building blocks that you built. Tip number 3 is attendance actually does matter. If a class has mandatory attendance or the attendance counts towards 20 to 25% of the grade, it's crucial and it's very important that you attend all the classes. Even if the classes are easy, even if it's an elective where you don't do much, those small points can help towards accumulating a good grade towards the end of the semester. Some tips for this: if there's a class that you know you don't do anything, let's just say the teacher just reads off the slides, you already do the homework, you're good on that, do some homework for a different class during that period. Just attend the class and you'll get like good points and that's it. Tip number 4 is take notes for the important classes. Don't write down everything that's on the board. Half the time the professors only put down bullet points. If you write notes based off of the presentation, you might not retain the information. So it's very important that you're actively listening to what the professor says and gathering the key points in your notes. Also, I know a lot of people in general just really like to take pretty notes and use colors and pretty stationery, but I have to admit for myself, I kind of grew out of that. My notes look so messy, the colors are not cute. But I'm writing down notes that I feel work for me. You don't have to go home and redo it in like a fancy paper in pastel colors. If you're not selling your notes, if you're not posting them somewhere, you don't have to make it pretty. So just take notes that you think are going to help you later on for homework, for quizzes, exams, or anything else. You can even take your notes on the computer, on an iPad, paper, anything that helps. Tip number 5 is do all of the homework assignments. Don't worry about perfecting the assignments. Obviously, do your research, follow the guidelines, answer all the questions needed. A lot of the classes nowadays have a late penalty for every assignment that you miss, just to motivate you to turn your assignments in on time, and that's what professors want at the end of the day. You don't have to make your response perfect. This will honestly help your critical thinking skills and fight that perfectionism that you might have and allow you to put your thoughts out there without overthinking too much. Let's just say, for example, you turn in an assignment, you get 18 out of 20 if you turned it in on time. However, let's just say you were 2 days late, now that is a 16 out of 20. So it brings down your grade a lot more. So be aware of those rules on the syllabus and what each professor says about their late assignments. There's a lot of professors that also don't allow you to turn in assignments late. So it's super important that you read the syllabus on your own time aside from class and really get into the details of what that professor is allowing you to do. Tip number 6 is ask questions. Whether you're in class, after class, before class, it's super important that you ask questions that you're confused about, because chances are there's someone else in that class that has the same question as you and is just as shy to ask them out loud. A lot of the times the professors are happy that people have questions, they're happy to get that feedback, and most of the time if enough people ask the same question that you're confused about, they'll push back the deadline or you guys will work on it in class. It all depends on the professor. I know there are some that are strict, but a lot of the times professors love the feedback from their students. Moving on to tip number 7 is connect with your classmates. Now, this is a tip that I'm kind of struggling with. I commute to school, so it's very hard for me to get involved on student activities and getting involved in my campus. Based off my experience of being a commuter, it's very important that I tell you guys to at least make one friend in each of your classes. This honestly helps with any anxieties you might have, if there's a group project presentation, if you have questions that you don't necessarily want to ask the professor but you feel like a classmate knows. It's very important that you get to know one another and really make the connections that will stick with you for the rest of the semester. In one of my classes, I was actually fortunate enough to meet one person that I knew from last semester. At least having one person that you can talk to in class can help with the anxiety and the academic stress that comes along with school. Tip number 8 is don't overexert yourself. College is extremely tiring, it's exhausting, and it actually takes out a lot more out of you. It's very important that you have a balance between core classes and your electives. I personally like going to school twice a week, no more than that if I don't need to. I like batching everything back to back. I know I just said that it's very difficult to do hard classes in one day, but that's what works for me. I like attending my first class from 10 and being home by 5. That leaves me the rest of the week to focus on my social life, on going to work, and going to school twice a week honestly helps me focus on the specific homework assignments that are due for each class. It's really important that you take snacks, that you have a lunch, that you go out with friends during your free periods because it'll help you stay consistent throughout the rest of the semester. So tip number 9 is shift your mindset. You're meant to be in that class. You're there for a reason and no one can talk you out of that. You need to find whatever works for you and you need to stick to that. Most of the time, there's a lot of people saying, do this academic routine, study like this, follow these trends to help you get good grades. I was struggling really hard because I feel like I was creating extra work for myself when I just could have just studied. Like I was studying how to study. And that was a little bit counterintuitive, I think. If you shift your mindset from I can't do it to I'm a little bit exhausted, but if I take a small break, I can push through. And remember, what works for you may not work for others, so you really need to find a good study routine that helps you succeed in your class. I'm here to tell you that you can do it. It doesn't matter what grades you previously got before. When you shift your mindset to I can do it, I'm capable of doing this, you can. Your mind will tell you that you can actually do these things. There is no specific way to get good grades. Tip number 10 is understand that you don't need straight A's. It's a little bit counterintuitive based on the title of this video, but you don't need straight A's to get a good education. It's not always about the grades, but what you learn from each course. I feel like nowadays hands-on experience is a little bit more important than the grades that you receive in the classes. So make sure that you get into volunteering if you get a job, internships, anything, or even projects, personal projects can help you get that hands-on experience that people are looking for. And one last bonus tip, don't compare yourself to other people's journey. Your journey is unique to you. You can be great at one subject and need a little bit of help from the other. You need to stop comparing yourself to others and what you see on the internet because everyone shows you their best part of themselves. Comparison literally kills you. So be mindful of the things that you consume and just take a step back from feeling the need to compare yourself. Alright, so these are a couple of the main tips that have helped me succeed in my academic semester. I hope you enjoyed this video and managed to get something useful out of this. If there are any tips that I missed, I'd really like it if you put it down in the comments below to help each other out and see what study tips works for you. I think it'd be pretty neat to see what you guys have to say. Also, I'm in the process of doing a 90-day experiment challenge for the goals that I set this year. I really want to become a better version of myself and really level up my life. And if you're someone who's into a more gentle self-improvement, you see your life as a journey, not the destination. We trust what's good for us and we follow our intuition. Then follow me for more if you're interested in the slow living type content. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!